This guy is here to fight for truth, justice, and the American way, even though he was made in Australia. Me, I'm here for the chicks. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Extreme channel. I'm Mr. X and we have Extreme collectibles all in this house. That's right, we have a custom, means it's a private, unlicensed commission, Christopher Reeve Superman bust. I am super excited about this piece for so many reasons. Reason number one, this was my Superman growing up. You know, in the 80s and 90s, this is who Superman was. It was so cool to actually see live action movies of comic book characters. It wasn't like it is today where 4 new ones come out every year. Reason number two I'm so excited is the guy who wrote the soundtrack to these movies was just fantastic. I think everyone can definitely agree with that. And reason number three, I actually have another piece from this company that I fell in love with. It's this custom Henry Cavill, I think I'm saying it right this time, it rhymes with travel, bust. And believe it or not, I do have another piece on order from them, and I haven't really studied this guy that close, but I'm guessing I'm going to order even more. So for those of you that don't know who this guy is, because this wasn't your Superman, hashtag not my Superman, this is based off the original actor who played in the first live-action Superman movie. Now, there was another actor who played a live-action Superman way back in the day. This was actually on a television show George Reeves did. And then, of course, you have your spin-offs like Lois and Clark, played by Dean Cain. But let's face it, we only watched that because of Terry Hatcher. I never really got into Smallville by any means, but I'm definitely a fan of his performance. Then Henry, or as I call him, Hank, I do like his performance as well. One of the reasons I'm so excited to have him in my collection is these DC life-size busts I'm getting in, I'm actually storing upstairs. I have some cabinets on order that I can't wait to show you guys. It's going to be some Maja cases. They're going to have the old Supermans, the new Supermans, the Justice League stuff. If you want to see what that looks like, as soon as I get pictures, I'm going to post that on the Extreme Channel Facebook page. Go ahead and check that out. The link for that is in the description below. Make sure you not only follow it, but you like it as well. But today we're going to do an in-depth review on this guy as best we can for an in-depth review, because while this is phenomenal, there's not really a lot to it. So let's just dive right in. And again, whenever I review life-size busts, it seems kind of awkward because I follow my normal format, but we're going to try it anyway, starting with the concept of this piece. Obviously, it's a life-size bust. That's pretty easy, but let's look at the rest. On the bottom, they have a black museum base, and it's a different shape. It's almost the shape of his emblem in a way. It's different than the other busts that I have. Now, this is only kind of a half bust, so you only have the front. We'll look at the back in a second. But it is your classic Superman suit. I like that the suit is original to the movie. And I remember watching some behind the scenes from the movie. In this particular suit, he actually sweated a lot. Like, he always had armpit stains, but the suit matches the original movie, which is fantastic. You have the huge Superman emblem right in the middle, the S right there. I love how this looks real. This is fully sculpted, this statue, so there's no what we call fabric or mixed media. It's awesome. Moving up, you see a little bit, half of the cape in the back. I like that that's sculpted as well. And you have Christopher Reeve, and I love the expression they chose for him. They chose a very stoic, serious expression. You know, he played a fantastic, goofy Clark Kent. He was always smiling, always happy as Clark for the most part. He often was a Superman. He wasn't as serious. I actually think I know where they got this from in the movie. We're going to talk about that in a second, and I think it's the perfect portrait for Christopher Reeve. It shows his serious, it shows his determination, it shows his hair curl, and the likeness is extraordinary on this. This looks like Christopher Reeve. This company has really done a great job making these pieces that actually look like silicone, and they're not. Silicone is a typical medical grade product that a lot of the higher end licensed companies are using that's soft to the touch. It's actually a little bit sticky. For example, in my Loki review by Queen Studios, that is silicone. But from a foot or two away, this also looks like real skin, even though it's hard to the touch. That felt kind of wrong, knocking Superman on the chin. You know, it's funny though, if I punched him, I'd probably break my hand. He really is Superman. Now, the expression, I think, is taken from this scene right here. One of the best scenes in the movie. This is actually from Superman 2.
General, would you care to step outside?
An interesting fact, Superman 2 was actually part of Superman 1. It was one entire movie, but they deemed that it was too long.
That's what she said.
So they split it into 2 movies, and they actually had to add some gaps into Superman 2, and Gene Hackman wouldn't sign back on. So they used a stunt double, and you can even tell they used someone with a little bit different voice in a lot of those scenes. So concept, I think with this, a lot of the concept is about the likeness. Did they nail it? Look at it. You can't say they didn't nail it. I think the one thing that's a negative about the concept is, while I don't think you have to have the back completely filled in, there's a lot showing. So if you look at it from even the sides, you do see that you're missing a lot. So I think that's a negative. Granted, I wouldn't want arms, but if they could have enclosed this a little bit more, I think it would have been a perfect concept. But I still think it's a 4 out of 5. It's much better than average. It's fantastic. It's what I call a rail. And now with design, there's not a lot of stuff to talk about. But let's start off by looking at the packaging. So here is a giant box that it came in, and inside there was tons of cushion, kind of like that carton stuff you put on a mattress to make it softer. So everything was protected really well. You can see Superman right here was totally wrapped up in plastic. And that's really it. There's no assembly or anything. Now, one thing different about this and their last Superman bust, the eyes lit up to show his heat vision. Now, he does not have that, but he didn't use it as much in the movie, a little bit more in Superman 2. Also with design, we can look at the size of it. So the widest point is right at 22 inches. The deepest part of the base is about 10.5 inches, and then you have about an extra almost 2 inches that this part right here sticks out. And then the tallest point, make sure it'll fit my cabinet. Yep, doesn't seem like it'll be an issue. The tallest point is maybe 29 inches or so, maybe a little bit under. So very manageable. Also, they included a COA with this, which was pretty cool. So here's the front. Here's a picture of that. A lot of scenes from the movie. And then on the back here, shows your edition number and some other things. Now, one thing, and I may be wrong, but on their last bust, they actually ended up doing multiple runs of it. And I never like when they do that. I think it devalues it a little bit. This one, they are not. They are capping it out, as you saw, at 78. And I speculate they'll do that for future projects, which we really appreciate. So now with design, I won't knock them for this, simply for the fact I knocked them during concept for it. The one negative thing is it is sculpted hair, and it still looks really good. It's some of the best sculpted hair I've seen. And we'll talk more about that in sculpt. But realistically, when I have a life-size bust, I do like actual hair or rooted in hair or punched in hair. So I think that's, a little bit, this isn't perfect. So for those reasons, it also is a 4 out of 5 on the design. Now we'll dive into the paint and sculpt, and I'm going to say that they actually improved over the last one. And if you watched the last review, I thought it was pretty excellent. Now I do have another Christopher Reeve piece. You can check out the review right here of this 1/4 scale. And I actually think I already like this one better. First, let's look at the Black Museum base. I like it. It kind of has this shine to it. It almost looks like there's some speckles in it, but that could just be the lighting and some dust, who knows. Regarding his outfit, it looks great. I like the seams in it. The way that it's on him, that he wasn't an incredibly buff guy like you typically see in the new Supermans. So I think the anatomy, the small amount of anatomy you can see flows really well. And the material itself looks great, including the S, the Superman emblem. It looks like this was really sewn on. It looks like it's straight out of the movies in the 20th century. One might say it is super. Check out his cape. Very similar to the Cavill cape. It looks great. There's a little bit of textured design in it. The paint job on this is fantastic. It's really clean. First, I want to look at his hair. So like I said, I don't like sculpted hair, but I think they did a really nice job on this. When you're looking at it up close like this, it looks a little too greasy, which it was in the movie. But you see the individualized strands. It's that dark black color, which is great. I like the flow of it. For sculpted hair, it's done very well. But where this really shines is on the portrait. So first, just looking at his skin and even his V-neck muscles, Adam's apple down here, it looks like real human skin. They did a fantastic job, not only on the paint, but the sculpt hair. Really impressed. You even see the cleft in Christopher Reeve's chin. It's not too prominent, which is awesome. He doesn't have any 5 o'clock shadow, but it does look like maybe it's 10 a.m. Something's starting to grow a little bit there. His lips look like real lips. I think they got the portrait absolutely spot on. The bones in his face. Check out his nose here. Now, one interesting thing is inside of his nostrils, it's really dirty. And I don't know if it's dirty from the factory or if that's supposed to be nose hair. I wish, either way, I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish they wouldn't have had that. His eyebrows look unbelievable. These almost look like real hair. They, in fact, I actually had to pause for a second to see if they're real hair. I think they are. I know his eyelashes are real hair, and that is a fantastic addition. The eyes look fabulous. They look like real eyes. He was known for his blue piercing stare. Very nice job. Everything about this portrait is awesome. The cheekbones, the ears. You know, I thought their last Superman bust was amazing. I think this one honestly tops it. Really excited to have this piece. So let's talk about the paint. The nostrils are bothering me, so it's not a perfect paint job. Oh man, you know what? I don't want to say perfect, but I still think it's a 5 out of 5 paint job. Really well done. I'm very impressed by it. And also on the sculpt. This is a 5 out of 5 sculpt. The likeness is uncanny. Wow, I am really impressed with this. I think the only negative thing on the sculpt, like I said, is it's sculpted hair. It's not real hair, but for sculpting it, they did a pretty decent job. Now let's talk about value on this piece. This is only $950, and I know you're in one of two groups. Damn, that's a lot of money, or wow, life-size busts usually cost $3,000. Well, hold on to your shit. Shipping was another, it was 850 Australian dollars, which I think converts to like 650 US. Because of the oversized box, because of COVID, because it shipped from the other side of the planet, it was really the only shipping option, and they actually let me wait a couple months to see if it would go down, and it actually went up $10. But which sucks, but now that he's here, he's definitely worth it. So I think, you know, all in, your $1,500-$1,600, I could easily get my money back for this. I think he has a pretty big cult following, and you haven't seen any other Christopher Reeve life-size bust to my knowledge. Like I said, some people might want the silicone and the actual hair, but I am more than happy with this. Big fan of this piece. So overall, does this have the X factor? Is it a 5 out of 5? Again, not a cumulative score, but do I really like this piece? I do. This became one of my favorite busts pretty quick, and I have some pretty freaking phenomenal ones. You can actually check out this older video right here of countdown of my favorite busts. So throw down in the comments today, do you think this one is better or the original one, the Henry Cavill? That'd be interesting to see. Maybe I'm just sold on this one because it's new, but I think they're going to look fabulous in the new display. I'm going to have Henry next to my Queen Studios Batfleck bust, and he's going to be next to that Michael Keaton Batman bust that I'm getting. So it'll look great either way. So not only put that in the comments, but if you like stuff like this, hit that Mr. X logo to subscribe to the channel and that bell notification. In the meantime, take care of yourself while you check out some of these other custom statues. Otherwise, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.